Fantastic to see you.
Need to get more chairs. Can we just stop for 2 seconds? Can we grab some more chairs back there?
Well, I'll tell you what, while they grab chairs, you know, I always want to know what you're thinking. So it's the beginning of 2026. I want to hear how you feeling? What are you experiencing? What's happened in the first 27 days of this year that set your mind for 2026? Tell me about it. Chairs going over your head is kind of distracting.
I'm making sure I don't drop it, okay?
Can I just say, this is the most amazing problem ever. Like, somebody take a video of this, because this is the most amazing problem ever. I love this.
Are we good
Keep
now?
this in mind for the remodel.
Yeah.
We need any more?
We might need to blow that door, that wall right there.
here. Yeah, there's.
Seat right here. There's a seat right here. Seat right here.
Can I put a couple in the corner there? We need some more.
I'm not sure anybody would want to sit here, but.
I will. I will.
Yeah, there.
You're welcome to.
I'll be very quiet, I promise.
That was really in the corner. That's for somebody that's in trouble. So yeah, that's you right there. All right. So it's a cool moment. I do want to just take a picture of everybody opening the year up. So whenever people take pictures of a team meeting like this and everybody looks like they're having the worst time of their life, and then they post it on Facebook, I'm like, you know, maybe you should have told them you're taking a picture. So I trust you all were all smiling. All right. So 2026, what's going on? What are you feeling? Tell me about it.
Busy.
Busy? Hopeful? Busy? This is the part where you talk back to me. Yes?
Phones are ringing.
Phones are ringing. Yes.
Leads.
Leads. Yes. What else?
Good rates.
Mortgage rates are better. Yes. Yes. What else? All right. So I told you guys at the end of last year, when I came around, I said, we were in a shift for how many years? How many years were we in the shift?
7?
3 years. 3 years. And every downturn ends in what?
Upturn.
Recovery, upturn. I'll take either one of those, but every downturn ends in recovery. Every downturn ends in recovery. That is what I wanted to burn into your brains in the fourth quarter as we went into business planning months, because I wanted you putting the activities in place so that you then can take advantage of the opportunity that exists for you in 2026. And I'm telling you, there's a huge opportunity for you in 2026 because every downturn ends in recovery. We've been in the downturn for 3 years. We're now hitting the year of the recovery. And how long is the recovery? Generally, how long before the next downturn? 7 years. Y'all were listening. See, you guys were listening. So 7 years, followed by 3 years, followed by 7 years, followed by 3 years. It's a cycle. We're in a cyclical industry. It's a seasonal and cyclical industry. And we are at the backside of the shift, the downturn, and we are solidly heading into the recovery. Would you like for me to prove it to you?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Charts and graphs.
Charts and graphs, yes. All right. So I always love to start with this. This right here is one of my favorite exercises because it is so true for where we sit right now. So read that out loud.
Opportunity is now here.
You guys see, a couple of you haven't been in the room with me with this. Most of you have seen me and this slide before. So you said the right answer, but you see what's going on here, right? You get to choose. We are right at the end of a shifted market, and we are right at the beginning of the recovery, which is likely to last a good long time. And you get to choose. You get to choose if you see opportunity is nowhere or opportunity is now here. I'm telling you, we have open road in front of us, and you are sitting in a sports car, and all you have to do is drive this car into this recovery, and you can have your best year ever in 2026. So I'm gonna prove it to you. Here's what happened last year. Everything was flat. Except for we got more inventory and days on market went up. The two things, the inventory went up and the market time extended. Are those bad things? I'm gonna make you think in this meeting a little bit, and I'm gonna make you talk back to me, because you know I need participation when I'm in front of the room. And you know I generally don't ask you questions that are trick questions that are going to make you say the wrong thing in front of a room this full. All right, so these are flat, right? So the number of homes listed went up, properties sold flat, median list price a little bit up, sold price flat, days on market went up. Is a little more inventory a good thing?
Yes.
Is a little more time on the market a good thing?
Yes.
Why is that?
It removes some of the chaos.
It removes some of the chaos, yes. It settles the market a little bit. If you were in this business, when we had hours on market instead of days on market, and we were managing 20, 30 offers on every property, that is not a good thing. It's not healthy for the marketplace, number one, because it shifts all of this transactional risk on top of the buyer. And they begin to put themselves in very, very vulnerable situations. And it drives price up like crazy. It's an unsustainable increase in the price of homes. We don't need that. And then the last thing is really for us as business people, as real estate agents, you need to take every listing and turn that into 2 or 3 other pieces of business. So your listings are one of your opportunities to lead generate in this business. And so if it's only on the market for a day or two, you lose the opportunity to do a listing launch strategy. You lose the opportunity to do an open house or two. You lose the opportunity to market that property multiple times in different areas so that you can lead generate. And that benefits you, and it also benefits your other seller clients, because the more you're lead generating with your listings, the more you're getting buyers, the more you can connect your buyers to all of your listings. And so these are not bad things. Is 47 days on market unusually high? No, it's not unusually high. In fact, it's historically still low. Normally we're 60 to 90 days, maybe a little more even, in a balanced market where you have balanced inventory and supply and demand. So it's actually still a little bit low. So I just want you to see that we're flat in all of these things. So we basically had 2 years flat. This was flat from the year before then, 24. 25 was flat from 24. And 26 is the year of recovery. Lawrence Yun, who's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, says these things. Interest rates are going to be 6%, right around that 6% range. That's what most people are calling for. Could be a little lower, maybe a little higher. Interest rate predictions make us the fools many, many times. If you've been in this business and tried to predict interest rates, you've had egg on your face more than once. But all conditions are pointing towards that 6% kind of being a baseline. The demand for housing and the amount of homes that come on the market when that 6%, when we hit 6% or slightly below, it is a marked number. It's a significant number. And you may have felt this whenever we went into the high fives. Whenever we went into the high fives, a lot of people's phones started ringing because you hit a buyer's strike point. You hit a seller's strike point where they say, it doesn't make sense for me to sell this house because I'm in this interest rate. They're rate locked into a house. But then they get to 5 7/8, and all of a sudden they don't feel rate locked anymore. They hit a strike point. Your buyers hit a strike point, your sellers hit a strike point, and when you hit that strike point, your phone starts ringing. You have to have been in front of them enough times. You have to be there when the yes happens. Okay, you have to be doing your lead generation plan, your database plan. You have to be getting in front of people that are anywhere in the funnel, especially bottom of the funnel, but it unlocks people when we hit 6 or just below 6. I'm telling you, it happens. And we've seen it. Existing home sales, I will tell you that, that Mr. Dr. Ewan is a little bullish on 14%. I am the eternal optimist. If you know me at all, the glass is always completely full. And so, but he's bullish at 14%. Many other people are in the 10% year over year increase in units sold. So off of the bottom, 10% increase in sales, home prices, a nice sustainable 4%, 3%, 2%, anything positive is great. Anything below 6 is great. Anything negative, not good. Anything over 6 and certainly double digits is not healthy for our marketplace. Okay? So as a real estate agent, being the economist of choice for a group of people that you present yourself as the expert in this field, you need to know that 4% is like a trend line, a long-term trend line that they track, and that's kind of like a good, sustainable, normal appreciation. Lawrence Yun is predicting 4%. Many other smart economists are predicting in that same range. Anything positive and less than 6 is strong for our marketplace. Negative, not good, because it flips a switch in people's minds if there's a devaluation. And then over 6, especially getting into double digits, is not healthy for our marketplace because it's unsustainable appreciation. 20% higher than a year ago. This is inventory improving. We saw that last year. We're going to see that likely again this year. Another good thing. We're still ranging right around 3 months supply of inventory, maybe a little less. So we still are in a low inventory, high demand market, even though the number of sales is at the bottom in 2025. So increase in inventory is great. And then he says that us in the South, we have a better opportunity than other regions of the country because of affordability, because of job opportunity, because of employment, because of increase of wages, and also because it's easier, more room, space, land, and the municipalities, I just glitched right there. The municipalities, say that really fast, they make it easier for us to build in this area and to add available inventory through new home construction. And that is a huge thing in 2026, is adding inventory through new home construction. We're going to add inventory because people are going to hit the strike point, but we also have to put inventory on the ground through new construction. And in the South, we have an easier path to that. And we've got job growth and better affordability than other parts of the country. So this is the main guy in the National Association of Realtors, and this is his prediction for 2026. Here's an interest rate. You see interest rates came down all throughout last year. It was just a downward trajectory all the way down to 6%. It's where it kind of bottomed out. And then there's some other things we'll talk about in just a minute that may impact that in 2026. But we think you can expect that 6% to kind of be a good baseline, give or take a little bit. Here's the appreciation. Again, NAR a little bullish, 1.6 being the average between all these super smart economists who predict these things. And so 1.6% appreciation, I'll take that. I'll take that. We were flat last year in our areas in Northeast Metro Atlanta. I'll take that too. What we don't need is a devaluation, and we don't need it to be double digits, because neither one of those are healthy for the mindset of the consumer and or for the health of the marketplace. This is really important, because this is where you see why double-digit appreciation is not healthy for the marketplace. Because here you see from 2018 all the way to the forecast of 2026, what wage increase, blue is wage growth, and green is the home price growth. So when we were seeing double-digit appreciation, you see the how affordability runs away from wage increase. This is 100% not sustainable. 100% not sustainable. Everybody's riding this bucking bronco in 2020 and 21. Woohoo, you know, you got to hide behind a tree not to to make money in 20 and 21. And then we slowed down. This was the year where everything shifted. And now we've been in this shift for this time right here. And you can see in 2025, job growth outpaced home price growth. That is a good thing. This is the affordability thing. So when you have the job growth outpacing the house appreciation growth, when you have income climbing, when you have the prices staying steady, and then when you have the interest rates going down, that creates affordability. Affordability is the key indicator for movement in our marketplace. And home prices being a little stagnant, good. Wage growth, good. Interest rates coming down, great. So all of those things point to this is the year of the recovery. I love you taking pictures. Please take pictures. I'll smile and point if you want me to. And also, we'll have these slides available because some of these you really need to have in your presentation whenever you're consulting with your buyers and sellers. This is inventory expected to rise. We talked about that. This is a good thing. This is existing home sales. So we look at home sales in two different categories: existing home sales and new homes. Existing homes and new homes. So you can see 24, 4 million, 4.1 projected, and this is when they did these numbers in 2025. And then the forecast is 4.5. So it's about a 10% increase. If you recall, we've talked about it many times that a good, healthy marketplace with tons of opportunity for you is about 5 million existing home sales. We ran 5 million existing home sales through the recovery after the Great Recession, and it was an incredible run. Then we went crazy town in COVID and went to like 6.7, 6.5, which is not sustainable. And then we came back down and we bottomed out 24 at 4 million transactions. I'll tell you, in the Great Recession, that's about where we landed. In the Great Recession was around 4 million. So 4 million is the bottom of our marketplace. We've hit that floor a couple of times in my career in real estate, and it always seems to be the bottom. Coming off of that, a little bit increase last year nationally, and then a forecast for a good solid 10%. Again, chief economist for NAR saying 14, 15%. I would tell you that in our area that we have better conditions for better improvement than other areas in the country. All right, so home sales, this is new homes. So new home uptick a little bit from 680,000 to 711,000. And one of the reasons why I think we have a great opportunity in this area is because we have better opportunity for new construction. I just told you that a minute ago. And so we're going to get an unfair share of those 711,000 builder transactions or new homes that are built. So we're going to get an unfair share of that. This is total homes. So total homes from 4.7 to 5.1. You see the trend here. Every prediction in every category from all of the super smart sources, these people that make all of these predictions are saying that we're going to have an increase in inventory. We're going to have an increase in existing homes. We're going to have an increase in new homes sold. We're going to have an increase in units across the board. That's available income for you, the real estate agent in this market. And I want you to see that. This is available income for you. So again, the year of recovery, there's a wild card. There's a wild card in this whole equation. This is not a political conversation. And we all agree in the room, like you're in the exit row, I need a verbal yes or no. Do you all agree this is not a political conversation?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Some of you are kicked out of the exit row, but most of you said yes. All right, this is not a political conversation. And the current administration has made very strong statements about the administration's desire to improve the housing market. Whether you like the current administration or not, one thing is for sure. When this administration says they're going to do something, they do something. They do something. And these different statements that have been made are statements made to improve affordability, access, and improve the industry in which you make your living. So I like the fact that there's a focus on this for 2026 in our government because they do hold the levers for many key things that impact our business. And so you just need to know that and to know that they're making a strong push to improve that. All right. So that's the opportunity. Now, how do you take advantage of the opportunity in the marketplace? I'm going to share with you some key things in our Keller Williams culture and their core principles, core perspectives. And we don't talk about them enough. And so we're going to spend a little time today talking about the 6 personal perspectives. How many of you have heard of the Keller Williams 6 personal perspectives? This is such a great opportunity for me to share this with you today, because this is what's going to make the difference for you in 2026. So here are the 6 personal perspectives. Commit to self-mastery, commit to the 80-20 principle, move from E to P, make being learning-based a foundation of your action plan, remove your limiting beliefs, be accountable. This, what ChatGPT really really messed me up there, didn't it? You can tell I'm not a great proofreader. But these are the 6 personal perspectives. Remove your limiting beliefs and then be accountable. All right, so we're going to get into them and we're going to start with commit to self-mastery. What does it mean to commit to self-mastery?
Perfecting good habits.
Perfecting good habits, yes.
Be consistent on that.
Be consistent on perfecting good habits, yes.
Creating better system.
Creating better systems, yes, I love that. One more. I got 28 minutes.
Denying yourself things that you know will do you harm.
Okay, denying yourself things that will do you harm is a great perspective because we do have to say no to things. And that's actually one of the hardest skills, is to know what to say no to. And you finish that with things that could do you harm. And that's an even more powerful statement, because saying no to the things that you know are doing like a poor, like not good service, things that are harming you, saying no to those things. So here's a definition: possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you a master of the subject. You've said all of that. And it's a journey, not an event. It's a journey, not an event. You have to be a student of this craft. And I tell y'all this all the time. I say, you don't get a pass at knowing the real estate market and the stats. You don't get a pass. You hold in your hands and you help a buyer or seller navigate generally the highest dollar value transaction in their life and the highest valued asset on their balance sheet, their net worth statement. You help people and you help them to navigate the highest valued asset in their life. And not to mention, it's highly infrequent. So most people only do this a few times in their lifetime, every 6, 7, 8 years. And it's highly emotional. This is where people live, they raise their families, they have children, they bring babies home, they bury their dog in the backyard. I tried to get my kids to get married in the backyard of my house because that, especially my girls, if you know what I mean, because it's way cheaper in the backyard than it is at these wedding venues these days. And they all denied me that. But my niece had somewhat of a wedding ceremony in my backyard. I was proud to have been able to accomplish that vision. She had a baby this morning, by the way. She was in labor since Friday morning and had the baby Tuesday morning. So not like 2 stars, would not recommend that, like that 5-day thing. I would not know, but it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. But committing to self-mastery, you have to be a student. You don't get a pass at knowing the market. You don't get a pass at math. You don't get a pass at the contracts that bind our clients together, legal documents that bind our clients together, that commit them to things in this most highest value transaction. You don't get a pass at not knowing your scripts and dialogues so that you can help to diffuse situations and navigate this complex transaction. You don't get a pass at bringing the calm to these transactions because they can be highly volatile and emotional. You don't get a pass at any of that. You have to be a student of your craft. You have to commit to self-mastery. And first and foremost, you have to commit to self-mastery in going and getting clients. Because you can have the best customer service in the world, and if you don't consistently have the habit of lead generation and getting in front of people who need your services, you will be broke and you will be a statistic in this industry of attrition of people who do not make it. So you have to commit to self-mastery. This is one of my favorite examples of self-mastery. And you can, excuse me, can I get some water up here? Thank you. You can feel sorry for me on this next slide because I am a Falcons fan. I'm a Falcons fan, and we are season ticket holders and have been for many years. And,
There's counseling for that.
there is counseling for that. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Thank you. So there's counseling for that. I do agree. And so, I mean, Arthur made some decisions this year. We'll see how all that shakes out. I'm a Falcons fan. I will always be a Falcons fan. So now that we have had pity party for myself, this is one of my favorite Falcons players of all time. He's the greatest tight end that ever played the game of football. Who is it? Tony G. Tony G is the greatest tight end to ever play the game of football. You see all of these wonderful accolades. The greatest, the best, the most, crushes every stat for tight end and crushes every stat for any receiver in many categories. So I'm the kind of guy that I like to go to the game, before everything happens. I like to see the players on the field. I like to see them getting ready, so I want to get there early and see what goes on. And so Tony G came to Atlanta on the back end of his career. And so he was already great. He was already going to be a Hall of Famer. He didn't have to show up and be the greatest in Atlanta, but he did. But you know what struck me about Tony? Every time we went to the game, every time, not sometimes, not one time, every time, Tony Gonzalez was the first guy on the field. And all the players, when they get done practicing and they're all in their groups doing their different exercises and routines. And then whenever they get done with their routine, they all just kind of file out in groups or one by one back into the locker room. Every time, Tony Gonzalez, last dude on the field. Last dude on the field. You've been there. You've seen it over and over and over. Tony, and was he doing complicated stuff? No. He was running his route, turning, catching a ball, throwing it down, walking back into his position, running another route, turn, boom, there was the ball. Over, 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 over. The basics, over and over and over. How many tens of thousands of times did Tony Gonzalez catch a football? But every game, he's the last dude on the field with a trainer throwing balls on his routes. And so when he got in the game, it was like that. And he's the greatest of all times. So you have to commit to self-mastery. I'm going to take a second. I want you to think about right now something in your career that you know you need to commit to self-mastery. And I want you to take a moment and write that down. One thing that you know you need to commit to self-mastery in your business in 2026. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. All right, now I want you to get maybe a little uncomfortable for a moment. Turn to somebody next to you, and I want the two of you to share the thing that you said that you needed to commit to self-mastery. So everybody just pair up, and if there are three of you, then three of you. But I'm gonna take another 1 minute for you to share with each other, what is the one thing that you know you have to master for 2026? Commit to self-mastery.
Like you guys have it.
I'm learning today. Yes. Yeah, but I really still say that because we did. And the system is there now. It's really hard to do. Don't like.
All right, you guys bring it back in, let's bring it back in. You sharing that? All right. So commit to self-mastery. Commit to self-mastery. Thank y'all. Thank you for sharing and playing all out. You need that. I need that from you in front of the room because it warms my heart. But you need that for you to achieve your goals in 2026. You have to play all out. So thank you for sharing that. So, all right, the next one is committing to the 80-20 principle. You've all heard it. 80-20, 80-20. So what is the 80-20 principle? Somebody just shout out.
So what you do is make 80% of your income.
20% of what you do is 80% of your income, 80% of your results. Yes, that is it. As long as you're doing the right 20%. So we make our living in an industry where you can definitely be busy all day long. And then I don't know how many of you are like me where you're just like totally 100 miles an hour all day long. And then you're like, what did I do today? You know, did I move anything forward? Did I create any results? Or was I just busy in things that captivated my attention or that are my pet things that I will, you know, oh, they need me over here for that thing. You know, it's like you're lead generating and you go get a cup of coffee and you're like, hey, did you want to talk to me about something? Didn't you? We were going to talk about the so-and-so, right? Now you're all of a sudden, you're not in your 20%. We have a world of distractions in our business, and you're self-employed. You own a business. And so one of the main reasons people get into this business is because they want freedom. And freedom in this business that you own has to be earned. You don't get into this business and immediately you have freedom. You have to earn freedom by doing your 20%, earning results. And I say this many times. The way you show up, the way that you've shown up, it's the 27th. The way you've shown up in your business the first 3 weeks of 2026, would you hire you or would you fire you? And that's a good indicator as to how you've been showing up. So maybe it's the beginning of the year, you had some resolutions or something. You're like, man, I've been killing it for the first 3 weeks of the year. But I also know how that works if you don't have focus. So the 20% of effort will produce 80% of the results, but you have to be in the right 20%. So you have to decide what is your 20%. And as a producing agent, if you don't know what your 20% is, we will help you with that. And so get a consultation with our productivity coaching group, with Dara, with Kim, with me. Get a consultation and determine what your 20% is so that you know. Because another one of my absolute favorite quotes is people do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and your habits decide your future. So you have this opportunity in a moment of clarity, you have an opportunity in a moment of clarity to decide what your priorities and habits need to be, commit to self-mastery, understand what your 20% is, commit to that, and then you will have the success that you're looking for. But if you don't do those things, your habits will be habits that do not serve you at all, and you won't have the future that you want to have. The best focus tool that we have is a 411 in this business. If you don't love the 411, you just have to make peace with it. Okay? Look, 411 is my favorite tool, and I love to hate it, but I love it. I ebb and flow with the 411. I have a task list. I do today, do this week, do this month. And generally I will tell myself that that's my focus tool. Probably, I don't know, 2 times a year, maybe, I will put myself back on a 411. I'll tell Darren, I'm putting myself back on a 411. That means you're back on a 411.
Yes,
You
sir.
know?
Yes, sir.
And so I will put myself back on a 411 because I understand that I am not in my 20% all the time. I understand I need additional focus. I know that I've got goals and aspirations and plans for myself, the people that I'm in business with, and my family that demand my focus. And so I will put myself back on a 411. And then I will employ people in my world to hold me accountable to that. And we'll get accountable in just a minute. But the 411 is the best focus tool that I know. Maybe really appropriate to have a 411 class in the beginning of the year. So how many of you have ever been on a 411? Okay. Any like endorsement or positive experience anyone in the audience would like to share about being on a 411? The difference of you on one and not on one. What difference does that make in your world?
Structures you.
Structures you? I like it.
Keeps you focused.
Keeps you focused. What does that do for you?
It reminds you daily what you need to accomplish.
Keeps you focused, keeps you in your 20%. I love it that many of you have been on a 411. I'm not going to ask you how many of you have a 411 right at this moment that is updated for week 3 in January of 2026. But I encourage you to get on a 411. We don't have time to hit all of the 6 personal perspectives. E to P is a great one. And what we'll do is we'll have a few other sessions where we'll hit some of the other 6 personal perspectives, and we'll commit to you to bring these up more often so that you have these top of mind. But move to E to P. This is entrepreneurial to purposeful. We are very entrepreneurial people. Okay, you get in this business generally because you have an entrepreneurial spirit. But what happens is you hit this ceiling of achievement that is your natural ability, and then you've got this disappointment, resignation, greener pastures. You do this bounce off of that and this slide downward, unless you get some systems and coaching, and you get you become purposeful about what you're trying to achieve, and then you can break through that ceiling. Now you break through the ceiling, and then guess what? It happens again, where you hit a natural ceiling of achievement, and then you have to go and get different programs and systems and models and accountability in your life to break through the ceiling again. But E to P is a critical perspective for you to have when you're building and growing a business. Make learning-based foundation of your action plan. You're all here today. You came. This is amazing. This full room is awesome. Warms my heart. I love it. And you have to choose learning for doing sake, not for knowing sake. And so I'm glazing over a couple of these, but this is an important one because we are a training and consulting company. We have so many opportunities for you to come to class that you can think your job is going to school. And you can pat yourself on the back and say, I've done so much this week because I went to all of the trainings on the training calendar at the Market Center. We love seeing your smiling faces in the training room. Go to the training and the classes that you need right now in your business, in your point in the journey. And then be learning based for doing sake. so that you take that and you go implement what you're learning, not just learning, infotainment. Like this, I might have a couple of jokes here, but I'm just nowhere near as entertaining as it's not as enjoyable to be here in this meeting as it is for you to hit your goals and to make the money that you need to make for your family and be learning for doing so. Remove your limiting beliefs. We can hit that one and another one. I want to land this morning on be accountable. And this is where we're going to finish. Because this is a big one. This gets all of us. And so you have accountable versus victim. Accountable versus victim. And here's a little chart that you can't read all of that. But basically, what it's saying is that here on the victim side, you don't seek reality, you fight reality, you blame, have personal excuses, and then you just wait and hope. When you're accountable, you seek reality, you acknowledge reality, you take personal responsibility for things that happen in your life. You're resourceful and you find solutions, and then you just keep moving. An accountable person is over there. Victim, there's so much victim language. Nobody told me, it's not my job, it's not my fault, it's yours. That's not the way it's supposed to be. If it was meant to be, it'll just happen. I've done all I could, time will tell. I can't think of anything else to do. All of that is victim language. And I grabbed this list of things that an agent might say in today's market, and the contrast between a victim statement and an accountable statement. So nobody's buying right now. Nobody's buying right now. Well, buyers are more selective, and I need to sharpen my value. You need to be better at presenting your value and getting in front of buyers at the bottom of the funnel. There are 12,000 closings in Gwinnett County in the last 12 months. That's 1,000 closings per month. That's 2,000 sides in your backyard in the bottom of the marketplace. The bottom of the market. 2,000 sides a month. The bottom of the market. This is not a true statement. That's false. You're lying to yourself if you choose this victim statement. Rates are killing every deal. Rates have changed the conversation. My job's to lead the conversation about rates. Sellers just aren't realistic anymore. I need to be clearer and more brave about my pricing conversations. That's a skill. That's self-mastery. Understanding your scripts and dialogues. Your scripts and dialogues aren't so you get to go do something to someone. Are we real clear about that? Your scripts and dialogues are so that you can help someone navigate a complex situation, and you can lead them through that, give them enough information, true information, for them to make a good, informed decision for them and their family. That's what scripts and dialogues do. But you winging it, you're just a victim. And then you're allowing the people who trust you as their trusted advisor in real estate to be a victim too. It's terrible. It's malpractice. Buyers are sitting on the sidelines. Some buyers, they need my guidance. You could go through this, but inventory is terrible. Low inventory means I must prospect differently. People don't value agents anymore. People value agents who clearly articulate their value. So you hear the victim language contrasted with the accountable language. And I would encourage you to have people in your world who you just say, I give you permission. I give you permission that if I say something that's victim language, just call me out on it. Man, that sounds like victim language. I have people who will call me out on victim language. And when you are, look, this business is very isolating. We have a great group of people right here, but you leave this room and you get isolated pretty quickly in this business. And you can put yourself in a situation who no one will call you out for having victim language. Empower people in your world to give you good, solid, powerful feedback. This is another one of my favorite quotes. This is my quote, by the way. I put my name on this. The human mind, left unchecked, can rationalize anything. The human mind, left unchecked, can rationalize anything. you can put yourself in a victim situation. You can buy into crappy excuses. You can spiral into all of those terrible thoughts in this business. And if you don't pull yourself out of that, if you don't, in a moment of clarity, speak the truth about who you are and what you want to do and what it takes to get there, if you don't empower people in your world to call you out on victim language, you can spiral into nothingness. And I'm telling you, you have to understand this and get trusted people in your world who are empowered to tell you the truth. And that leads me to this, which is, who are those people? Because those people are different people in different areas of your life. So in 6 personal perspectives, we have these 4 boxes. You might break these into more. There may be other boxes for you or circles, but who are the people in your world who you are accountable to, who are mentors or coaches, models, people that care about you, who are willing to tell you the truth? So I want you to take another moment, and I want you to draw out these 4 circles, and I want you to write in the names of the people who you give permission or have given permission to coach you or hold you accountable in those areas. So take a few moments and do that. Draw out the 4 circles, write the names in there. This is the moment where most people take the Facebook picture. You know, you guys are like deep in thought. I'm not doing it to you. As you do that, I'm going to start finishing up. If you have a blank circle or more than one blank circle, you might have a blind spot in your life. And I encourage you to diligently work through making sure that you have at least one person in each one of those circles. Many of these, I have 2 people in. I like to have a mentor and a coach. A mentor is just someone who's further down the road from me that I can ask for coffee and go sit with them and get good, experienced information from that person's own personal experience to speak truth into my life. A coach is someone who they are there to hold me accountable to a certain level in that area of my life. And I encourage you, if you have a blank, then you might have a blind spot, and you certainly have an opportunity to put some valuable relationship into your life. Ask, like, just if you have a blank, think about people that you admire, that you have some relationship with, and just ask, would it be okay if we had a phone call, or I took you to coffee and you talked to me about this area of your life? You know, I see what you're doing in that area of your life, and I admire that. And I would love to hear more about your journey in that area of your life. Look, I'm not asking you to take me to Ray's. I'm buying the coffee, okay? And it's on your time. I would drive to you wherever. But if I could just have 15, 20, 30 minutes of your time, and then you be prepared, show up prepared, and honor that person's time. And then don't say, okay, can we meet weekly? No, it's like just periodically, but you need to have people in your life for that. We're finished with this. This is the year of opportunity. How you see this and how you go into this year is going to determine your success for 2026. Commit to self-mastery. Stay in your 20%. Move from E to P and be an accountable person, and don't be a victim in any area of your life. This is the year of recovery, and we are heading into a season of recovery. But if you miss this start of it, you're going to be behind the wave. You'll be behind the wave. So start now, get ahead of it, and you will enjoy great success in 2026. I'm sure of it. So this is the year of recovery. And I want you to get the success that you deserve. Big announcement.
Big announcement, big announcement. So I asked Jason to be part of this announcement today, because he is the decision maker of the.
Garrett's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that's been around for a minute might be like having a heart attack right now.
Oh, yeah, so y'all got
Garrett's your team
PTSD.
leader for life, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, put me on a pine box, it's fine. So Jason
It's not going anywhere.
is
either.
not going anywhere either, yes, has signed off on all of our renovation stuff. And so we will be starting renovations in February. Yes. Woohoo! So it is gonna be, yeah, like I have no words. I'm sorry that I can't even stand it. But we will have a few weeks of transition. Team meetings will be off-site for probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most, but one of those weeks falls into family reunion. We are hoping tentatively between February 9th and February 16th is our start date. So it's coming up.